So, welcome to another edition of training with Century 21 Preferred. And today is a unique training that I was looking at the calendar. And how many of us were actually able to attend or were around the a year ago today? Does anyone know what a year ago today's training was? This is the training we're having today right now. It's Infosparks. And I was looking back and I actually went through and was reviewing it. I see that we had 10 views on that training. And this is a critical tool that I want to make sure we're all familiar with and how to use. And so that's why we're bringing it back around again, because sometimes we forget about the tools that are at our disposal. And I want to make sure that especially those agents who have maybe come into Century 21 Preferred, who were not here a year ago, that you are not missing out on this critical piece that's provided to us free of charge from the MLS. All right. And that tool is called Infosparks. How many of us, apart from our management team, you can answer, have experience in working with the Infosparks platform? Anybody have experience working with Info? How many of us have even opened it, right? Did we know that it existed maybe, right? Like, what is Infosparks, right? This right here is going to help you stand out among the competition in our industry and help you to speak to what is taking place in our market. So maybe a month ago, we did a video, and in that video, we were actually sharing some data of what was taking place in our market. And that data, many were saying, where'd you find that information? That information came from InfoSpark. And so we're going to get you right into it today. Hey, what about mine? Felipe? Your video? I said we did video, so it could have been anybody's video. We didn't specify who did a video.
No, I was just responding to Rosie. She said she likes your background. I said, what about mine?
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, sorry.
I don't know where I found this one. But yeah, cool. I'm gonna go ahead and jump my screen on here real quick, and I'm gonna try to cover as much of this as I can. So now everyone is able to see my screen. I've got my chat box open as well, so I will be able to respond to the chats. We've got everything ready to go for everybody. Okay. There we go. Very good. You see on my screen here, you're familiar with this. How many of us are familiar who we're seeing on the screen right now? Yes, we're familiar with that. That's if you log into I just type in Matrix myself, and this is what pops up. This is your home screen. These are all of the additional products that are offered. The one that we're going to focus on today is right here in the middle. It's called Infosparks. And I want to let you know that there's a couple of ways to find this. All right. First way to find Infosparks is clearly right here. However, if you are in the matrix and you're already working in here, if you go down, you just scroll down to external links, you'll also see right here also says Infosparks market statistics. So you can also find it there. And the third place that you can find it is actually in this little links tab right up here. If you go in there, you'll also be able to find Infosparks here as well. So there's 3 different places. If you get a little confused, you can't figure out where to find it, that's where you would locate Infosparks. We're going to dive right on into the platform. As you see here on our screen, this is what it looks like when you jump in. And initially, it's just going to show you the entire MLS. All right. This is everything that we've got top to bottom. And how much of the state does our MLS cover? Can somebody give me a percentage just to shoot that out there? I got an idea how much of our state
largest ones, right? So I think it covers like well, I don't know how much it covers, but it's it's the largest MLS system in California, isn't it?
It absolutely is. So I don't have a specific stat either, but I would dare to say, because we've covered all of Southern California, Northern California, the major cities there, got about 80% coverage in the state of California. All right. So this is going to be everything that's taking place. And I just wanted you to kind of look at something. Look at sales prices. If you guys hadn't noticed this, I mean, maybe you did, right? You work in real estate. Maybe you did. Sales prices. Look at that right there. They're up 27% year over year. Look at the spike in sales prices. Look at that. I mean, just incredible. From January to now, just look where we were back in May of 2020. So a year ago, we went from an entire MLS average sales price of 553 to an entire MLS average sales price of 720. This data right here is great for us to be able to share with our clients as to what's taking place in real estate. We saw a slight little dip down there in November, December, and then it just went right back on up. So this is what we're going to be looking at, this platform right here. I'm going to try to get you through most of these tabs. And so that's where we'll actually begin, are the tabs right here at the bottom of this screen. So talking about sales price, this right here is the median sales price for homes in the entire MLS. You click this little tab over here and it will give you the average sales price. There is a difference between median. Median is the middle. So if we take all the sales that are out there in the world, in our MLS, and we look at that middle sale, that is called the median. The average is when we take all of the sales and divide it by the amount of sales that gives us the average number. So whenever you're providing data, I encourage you to be able to distinguish and know the difference between median and average. Okay?
Yeah, David, real
So,
quick.
go ahead.
So safe to say that the median price point is kind of what you expect to see from Zillow and also things like RPR, because all they do is they take the biggest sale, the lowest sale, and they cut it right in the middle and they say the home is probably worth X. That's why we say when you're doing comps, don't just take the number that you see off of RPR, for example. You want to make sure that you do the research because you're more looking for an average than the median. But that's what those sites are doing.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing that, Felipe. And especially in this market, coming here and working this data and looking at recent sales, because the market is appreciating so quickly, it's important for us to come here and get fresh data on a monthly basis. Speaking of that monthly data, data that's provided, the Infosparks data is updated every month at 4 a.m. Central Standard Time on the first of the month. And it's going to be looking at data from that previous month. So everything that we're looking at right now includes all of our data to full closed sales for the month of April. So there is no data in here through the month of May. You will not see any data from May until we get to the 1st of June. Okay, everybody follow me there? For how this data is provided to us from the MLS. Looks like I'm going to need some water today. Let's look at the rest of these tabs down here at the bottom. Let's go to closed volume. We can see closed volume here. Total closed sides, buyer and seller sides. So that tells you how much sales we have so far, 53,000 sales right now, sides, all right? Percentage of original price. Now this right here is a cool little piece to look at because this tells you what home sellers are getting for their homes for the original price. Now see, sometimes there's price reductions, yes? And so when there's a price reduction, then we're basing that on a different number. Here, we're looking at when they first listed that home, what did they get for it? And you can see that homes in their entirety are selling for 102.6% of whatever they were listed for. So everything pretty much is selling at over asking price. That's the median. On the average, we're at 103.5%. Important data for you to be able to showcase to your clients. Then there is closed sales. This is total closed sales. So that's why that number you see is only 26,000 as opposed to the total closed sides, which was 53,000. Everybody follow me there?
David, do me a huge favor.
Yes, sir.
So you're doing the entire MLS. I might have missed what you said about, did you select single family? Because I like to just go on single family and skip condos and manufactureds and stuff when I'm doing average.
Have not got there yet. Thank you so much for bringing it up. We will be covering all of the different tabs. That's going to be right up here at the top what Felipe is bringing out to you guys. So we will cover all those tabs as well. There's quite a bit that Infosparks offers to us. And so I want to make sure that you get to understand all of it. All right. All of these numbers down here are going to change in these bottom tabs based on the city or information that I put into these top tabs. Okay, so let's take a look at that real quick and see what happens. If I was to type in Temecula, city of Temecula, boom. Now these numbers have all changed. Total closed sides, 460. Okay, versus total closed side sales for 230. We see the difference there. Yes? Very good. Again, doesn't matter if we're looking at one city or the entire MLS. We're going to break that down further as we move along. Percent of last list price. This one here is some data that shows us if there's been some adjustments in home prices, what that home sold for based on that adjusted price. All right. Now, moving forward, I want you guys to take a peek at the price per square foot as well. Average and median are right there. And that's going to be for any city that you put in. Pending sales, we've got those data numbers as well. Active listings, we've got all that information. Months of supply, there that goes down the tube, right? New listings, and then of course, days on market. Days on market is also broken up into median and average. So when you say we've got homes are selling in 5 days, average, be careful how you say that because average and median, again, are two separate different things. See, median days on market is only 5, whereas average days on market is 12. I personally like to stick to the average number as opposed to the median numbers. It's more realistic for your clients. All right? Everybody follow me there. So those are all the tabs on the bottom. You click either one, it's going to showcase you there what it is, that data point that you're looking for. Okay? Now we want to jump up top here to all these tabs at the top. Now you have the option in Infosparks to put in multiple cities, multiple places. So let's just go ahead and say we wanted to compare Temecula with Murrieta. There it is. So here's our data points for Murrieta versus Temecula. And right now we're looking at average days on market. And so you can see over here on the right-hand corner, it gives you the days as well as the percentage difference year over year. So when you see this percentage here on this side, it's saying that there's a 60% decline from last year for Temecula and 58% from last year for Temecula. All right, let's throw in another city just for some fun. We'll throw in Menifee. All right, how's that sound? Let's throw in another, oops, sorry. We want Menifee City. Oh, there we go. Now we've got all these data points here. You see if you go down this line, you can actually see if you're looking for specific months or time of when there's been a change, you can actually do that as well just by rolling your mouse over these points here. So this tells us back in, let's go to May of 2020, I can see that the average days on market in May of 2020 was 41, 33, and 38 respectively for our cities versus today's data, which is 12, 13, and 12. You see the difference there. Year over year, that data is provided to you. Go back one more year, all the way to May of 2019. Not a large change in May of 2019 with May of 2020, but a drastic change between May of 2020 and 2021. All right. Any questions so far on anything that we've covered in Infosparks? Everybody follow me? Everybody tracking me well?
So far, so good.
Right on. So what Felipe mentioned as well is that you can go through and now this data that's provided is showing you everything that has sold in these respective communities. So that includes single family, condominiums, townhomes, and manufactured homes. All of the data is provided together. If you're looking to do specifically to single family homes, when you click this little tab here, you've got these little bubbles that pop up. So if I only want single family, I'll just click the single family. If I want only condominiums, I click condominiums, townhomes, manufactured homes. And it gives me that separate data for those. So if I'm looking at, well, maybe I just want to do condominiums and townhomes, I can do that. And so because maybe I can kind of group those together, right? It's going to give me the data for those specific types of properties. All right, let's go back in and stay in the single family where we were working, where rather we're going to just work for now. Again, this is the single family data. It also breaks down this again, it goes further. There's a bunch in here, guys. You can go attached versus detached homes. Okay. You can also slide over here. You can look at transaction size. You can look at buyer, seller, individuals. Then you can get over into bedrooms. So say, for instance, that you're looking at homes and you're trying to get to distinguish the difference between homes that are selling with 2 bedrooms versus homes that are selling with 3 bedrooms, or 3 versus 4 bedrooms. You can go in here and choose the different bedrooms that you want to look at. So I want single family homes that are 3 bedroom. Okay. That's going to tell you what those homes are doing. You also can do bathrooms as well. Say I want 2 bathrooms. I can go 2 bathrooms. Then as I scroll over, price range. You can look at specific price ranges that homes are selling in and grab that data also. Moving over, you can compare square footage as well. I'm looking for homes that are between the 2,000 to almost 3,000 square feet. Okay. So it's a 3 bedroom, 2 bath, 2,000, 3,000 square foot home. There's my data. Moving right along, lot size. Well, I want homes that are an acre or less. I don't want anything on any major pieces of property. There, that data is provided to you also. Not done yet. Scrolling over, pool versus no pool. Right now, homes with pools are they're the big hit, I guess I should say. I don't really know how to describe it. Homes with pools are just flying off the shelves. People who have been trapped in their homes due to COVID have decided, if I'm going to have a home, I want some space, and if it's got a pool, that's a huge plus. On average, I used to see homes sell with pools anywhere from $12,000, $15,000 more than a pool without a home, more than a home without a pool. Now I've seen them as high as $50,000 more for a pool with a home versus a similar home without a pool. And those numbers go up. If you get like a cul-de-sac lot, oh my goodness. I mean, I've seen them as much as $100,000 more than a pool than that same home in the same community without a pool and a cul-de-sac lot with a lot of space. So these are factors that you want to look at whenever you're comparing properties and sharing data. All right. So you can choose a home with pool. You put that number right on there for you. Okay. Last but not least, because you thought it was probably all done, is right here on the backside, is this talks about all of the different types of sales that exist. There is the standard sale, which is most transactions. Yes? But we also have foreclosures, REOs, and short sales. So what we're looking at now is sales, all sales types data. Well, we actually do not want all sales types data. We want just standard. So there it is. Now it's just going to give us those. It takes out those foreclosures, those REOs, those short sales, because that actually skews my data by a little bit. Everybody follow me there? And of course, I don't want my data to be skewed in any way. So that's all these tabs right here. And so as you're going through and as you're looking to get specific information, you're going to choose what of these you want. So we're going to go back to all bedrooms, go back to all bathrooms. Don't leave our price range alone. We're going to do all square footage. Any lot size is good for us. We're going to do as a pool, and we're going to do standard sales. All right. Give it a moment. It takes a little time sometimes to crunch those numbers and bring all that together. But this right here is a single family home with a pool. I believe that's what we had. So that's what they're looking like right there. All right. So looking at all these data points, I want to share with you this little tab right here. It's called our breakout tab. So if you click this little breakout tab right here, you can actually distinguish specific to that home that you're looking for. And so let's talk about that. As far as bedrooms and bathrooms, it's only going to be associated with the city that you're talking about right here. All right. So here's a little breakout tab. So we've got, let me just grab it real quick. It should compare it for us. There we go. It'll break down for us bedrooms and bathrooms specific to, so you can compare 1-bedroom homes with 2-bedroom homes, 2-bedroom homes with 3-bedroom homes. Right, and it's going to provide you that separate line item. Now this one here is kind of all over the place. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back and we're going to take off our pool homes because that's what's really throwing us off. all home types, right? Not a lot of homes with pools. More homes without pools than homes with pools. All right. So there we go. There's our breakout tab. There we go. And so you're breaking it down. Single family homes here. We can do this right here. We can compare single family with condominiums. So now you're looking at data. I know there's a whole lot on this page, but don't worry, I'm going to show you how I can even clear that up a little better. I can look at single family homes versus condominiums. And so we're looking at average days on market. So I can see the single family home, how quickly that's moving versus the condominium and how quickly that home is moving. Okay. So if I go back to single family homes here, just keep it to single family. And I go over here and I want to compare 3-bedroom homes. Take this off. And 4+ bedroom homes, it's going to give me that data as well. So quite a bit that you can do here. Again, if we go back to, let's maybe get off of days on market and go to average sales price. So we can look at some differences here. On single family homes, get that off of there. There we go. Single family, 1 to 2 bedrooms. There we go. Got it up for you guys. Make sure you've got the right little button tab here, button clicked, because if you don't, then it'll give you the wrong data. So we're looking at just single family homes. We're looking at 3 bedrooms versus 4 bedrooms or more. So here's our average sales prices. 3 bedrooms here in Temecula, $634 versus 4 bedrooms or more, $795. Murrieta, $526 on a 3-bedroom homes, 4 bedrooms or more, $718. That's just some data that you're able to see. And then we roll down here to Menifee, $468 versus $563. People are paying quite a bit more for those homes that are larger. All right, you can do it with any of this data in here, with any of these breakout tabs. You click that specific tab and it's going to break out that data for you. So I know it's a little bit confusing when you're looking at these lines. We start with the lines because that's where the system defaults you to, but it has this really cool thing over here. These other tabs where I can change this line and put it into a bar graph. Oh my goodness. Now all of us are like, I can read that now, right? The bar graph only goes back 3 years. The line graph will go back 5 years. All right. So now you're able to see here really nicely here the difference between these specific homes that we're talking about versus the line graph. All right, much easier to read here on the bar graph. Now, this data that you're looking at, again, we're looking at year over year. This is monthly data. You can also roll all of this data together and you can look at it in quarters. We can look at it in biannually, or we can look at it annually. All right, I typically keep mine here on the monthly, and then that just tells me year over year where we are. I can compare last year to this year and what those numbers look like. All right, let's pop off of this real quick, get it back to some simpler numbers for you able to read. So here we are, we're looking at some simpler stuff on our screen to watch. Sales price, average sales price, here's what we see. Last year, in where my green city is, Menifee, average sales price was $409. Now, average sales price for a single family home in Menifee, $495. Up almost $100,000 or 20%, which is really cool. The numbers that they put right down here, that 20% number is easy for you to see. All right. It's also populated on the right-hand side over here for you as well. All right. And then you can adjust this here. You can do 2 years, or you can just do the 1 year, but the 1 year is not going to really compare much for you. And again, of course, this is where you can do bars or line graphs on this side as well. So that covers most of those tabs there. So now that I've got this data and I understand a little bit better on how I can utilize this data and share it with my potential clients, friends and family, sphere of influence, all of that, well, how would I share this data, right? Because it's on this screen, but I'm not going to take a screenshot of my computer, right? So we've got this cool little button over here called share. You click this share button here, and you have the option to either share static data. That's what we're looking at right now. It's not going to change. Or I can do live data. That means that the link that it provides for me is going to be actively updated when the MLS updates its data. So if I share this on a social media platform or wherever I put it, or a blog, if I embed it into a web page, it's going to give them real live, up-to-date data month in and month out as it's updated. All right. Everybody follow me there? So let's go ahead and look at this here. If we just leave it at static and we're going to say, I want to share this on a social media or an email. All right, so then you just click this little share button right here. And that share button is going to provide for you a link. And you can take that link and you can embed it. All right. Here's what you get. This is what it's going to look like. So this right here, this screen that you see is what's actually going to be shared. And you get to choose where you share that data. So I can simply click right here on Facebook. This is how easy this is. When this Facebook opens for us. Oh, hang on a second. It's on my other screen. It's reflecting it. So I need to adjust my screen share because it's populating another tab for you. And I want to make sure that you guys can see everything here. So 1 second while we make an adjustment, because I want you to see the pop-up that goes with it. 1 second. There we go. And what is change the screen share to the whole desktop? Share button. There we go. Now, when I'm in here and I click this, there you guys, you can see it now. All right, we figured it out. This is now going to open up my Facebook page, and I can choose to share this as a story on a friend's timeline, in a group, as an event, whatever the case may be. So maybe I want to share this on a page that I manage. Okay, and because I have a business page, I'll go to Team Broden. Okay, and so all I'm going to do is simply type in here whatever it is that I want to type in. Update, and I would simply go down here and hit post to Facebook, and that is going to go to Facebook just like that. Average sales prices for Temecula and more. All you did was come in here and add that little bit of information, and now off and away it goes, ready for your clients to be able to see. And again, we talked about it, so let's go ahead and jump out of this. Go back one here. We talked about the difference between static. There we go. Static and live data. So if it's static, it's just going to be that information. If it's for that particular month, it's not going to change. If it's live, again, always updated with the latest data. So if anyone goes to that link that you shared, that information is always going to be up to date with whatever's taking place on the MLS as they update. Again, who's got the who is paying attention, I should say, and remembers how often is this data updated and when? Who was paying attention? Who took notes? Once a month. What time? Waiting. 4 a.m. 4 a.m. Central Standard Time, first of the month. That's when our data is updated. Okay? So that's when you're going to get new live data. Don't wait for it at midnight. If you're up at, you can't sleep, you want that fresh data. 4 a.m. Central Standard Time for us. I guess that's 2 hours behind. So what does that make that? Like 2 a.m. for us? Yeah, 2 a.m. for us. Okay, is when that data is going to be updated. There you go. You can also take this right here. You can do it as a PDF. You can share it that way. You can print this data off. You can also embed it in a website or a blog. So if you have a website or you have a blog that you are actively using, you can come in here and you can choose the type of image that you're going to embed, the size that you want it to be as well. And then once you've got that all figured out, you're going to hit the little share button. It's going to give you this data here. This data here is what you're going to take to the code for your website or your blog or however it is that you've put that together. I don't have that myself, but if you're working that, you understand how those platforms work. You're going to simply embed it into the code, and it's going to show up on your website, on your blog, or whatever it is that you're embedding this into. All right. Great resource again, and how to be able to share this with your clients, all the great data for Infosparks. All right. To close that bad boy up, that's how you share it. You can also always print any of this information as well. So you can come in here and you can hit the static. Well, the static is actually already selected. It comes as a PDF. You have to hit the download. You can hit the download button here, or you can go to view PDF print window. you go that right there. It'll populate this right here, and you can print this off. Okay, there's the information right there. Now, there was a step that we need to go back to, because what you see right here is all of my information. Here's my name, my license number, my email, cell phone number, office number, all that. Well, where is all of that information, and how do you make sure it's correct? Because you don't want the wrong information in there, right? So let's go over here, and in this little top right-hand corner, you will see my picture, all right? Your picture there, if you've actually gone into here in the profile tab and you've updated all your information. You may just have a little symbol where there's supposed to be a picture if you're working live on your computer right now. You'll go in here and you will actually add your picture. Mine just says delete. You can go to choose file right here, wherever you have your headshot on your computer. Update that information right there so that you have the latest and the greatest. Upload that image. All of your agent information is coming to you, what to say, automatic from your MLS profile. So you can go ahead and anything that's on the MLS, make sure it's correct there. It's going to populate that right here. My email address comes in all by itself. My phone number, number 1 is going to be the office. Number 2 is going to be your cell phone. If you want to add a fax, you can do that. If you want to add your website, you can do that. I know with KV Core, if you really love that new website, you're simply going to put that URL right in this little space right here. And then that is actually going to pop up on all your data as well. Okay. Of course, all your information down here, whether you're a broker, associate broker, real estate agent, address of the office, so forth. And you'll just simply hit that update profile tab right there, and you're ready to rock and roll. All right. That's going to be your profile information. And again, you'll know if you got your picture there because it'll show up right here in the top right-hand corner. Any questions on anything that we have covered thus far in our training? Wow. Everybody is just like doing a great job. Very good, very good, very good. I am going to jump over to now this tab here in the top right-hand corner called My Areas. Boom. So the question has been asked in the past is, so what if there was a specific community? So I'm looking at Marietta, I'm looking at Temecula, but I live, and I've used this one in the past as an easier one for me to do for an example. So I'm just going to go back to it. I live in Greer Ranch. Okay. And I want to look at Greer Ranch's data versus Murrietta's data, altogether. So let's go ahead and take a peek here. So what you can do in here is you can first type in a location you want to start. So we want to start our search in Murrieta. We want to figure out, we're going to search Murrieta, hit the enter button there, and it puts a little dot on the screen for us. Okay. So now that we've got the little dot on the screen, we're going to just zoom right on in to Murrieta. All right. Like the MLS, you've got the tab over here for you can do map or you can do satellite. If you want to see whichever one works best for you. I typically work in the map platform. I just feel that it's easier for me to see. And you're going to zoom in. For those of us who are familiar with where Greer Ranch is, and actually says it on our screen once we zoom in a little bit closer, I've got Greer Ranch right here. All right. Now I've done this training before, so it's going to be a repeat. So this may show up twice in my areas once you see it. You can draw a polygon around the area that you want to look at. So we're just going to go through here like this. And we're just going to grab all little streets. We're going to go around the ones that we don't want. Greer Ranch is all of this. There's the gatehouse over there. Keep moving your little guy here. Go with the blackthorn around those guys. There's the gatehouse there.
And for the newer agents on here, he's just clicking every time he makes a turn.
That's it. Boom.
Sometimes it works beautifully and sometimes it's a disaster. It takes all of us a couple times.
Right. And that's it. Now I've selected Greer Ranch. Now I'm going to save Greer Ranch like this. And I'm going to call it we'll call it my community because I think I have one called Greer Ranch. So I want to be able to see the difference when I pop these up. All right, my community. And I'm just going to hit the save button. And it says it's saved. That you can go back and look at the stats. We're back to the map. We're going to close out for now. Okay. Because I've saved my community here, we're calling it Greer Ranch. If I go back into Infosparks okay? And it doesn't save anything. So I just want you to know, as we came back, everything that you saw was gone. Whenever you leave one screen or another in Infosparks, you got to put everything back in again. So if you're working in here, put in the cities that you want to work in, and it'll stay there. You'll be good to go. But here we're going to look at, because this is Murrieta, all right, this is where we started. But again, we're comparing Murrieta specifically to Greer Ranch. So there's not a place for me to type in Greer Ranch here, but this little tab right here gives me a drop down. And you see this little thing over here, it says My Areas. Well, if I click My Areas, look, my community is right here. I created that. Click My Community. Now I'm going to be able to compare the data with Murrieta, which is in blue, with the data of my community. And as you can see, it makes perfect sense that data in Greer Ranch, typically some sell there for a little bit, quite a bit more actually than here in Murrieta proper. Those numbers are higher. We can go right on over here, change out our line to our bar, and we can see the difference between my community, or also known as Greer Ranch, what we're calling it here, versus Murrieta. You can do this for any area that you want. So let's go and do that one more time. I know the repetition helps me whenever I'm learning. So if we go back into our My Areas tab, we'll go in here, we'll type in, we'll go to Murrieta again. All right, click on Murrieta today. All right, go to Murrieta, zoom in on Murrieta. Everybody follow me there how we did that? We typed in the city, we zoomed in, and you know what? I really like this area over here, this golden triangle, they call it. So, you know, I do some farming over in here maybe, and so I want to look at that. So again, we're just doing this again for repetition so that maybe for those of us who didn't catch it on the first time around, we're going to say, we're going to grab this area right here, right? AKA, we call it the golden triangle from time to time. All right, let me just scroll down here. Go across Hot Springs, go back up here. And it's just an area that maybe I do a bit of farming in here. This is that I'm most familiar with. Now I have that community right there. Again, we're going to simply go to the save button. We're going to call this one out here the golden triangle. All right. Everybody follow me there? Hit the save button. Hit the close button. Now again, I will go back into Infosparks tab up top. There we go. Now I'm able to compare Murrieta, my community. If I go to my areas, I'm sorry, go to my areas, go to my community. There we go. And then I'm actually able to go to here and go to my areas again. And there is the golden triangle. See how they're all there? Was not there before. Now we're looking at data, once it crunches it in there for us, of these three different communities. So we're looking at Murrieta as a whole. We're looking at Greer Ranch, or my community as we called it here. And we're looking at the golden triangle. So now we're able to look at different communities and how they're moving. So yes, while eventually it's going to pop off our screen there. There it is. So we're able to look at now at this data, you know, the average, or let's go back here. Let's go to average. There we go. The average price in Murrieta, which is blue, was 500,000. Now it's 600,000. But we can look at now in that golden triangle area, it was 423. Now it's 500. So we can get hyper specific to a particular community so that those who live there are able to see that, yes, my home is not worth maybe $600,000 like all of Murrieta is. I can see what are homes around me selling for. All right. And that's what we can do as agents to be able to provide that information for them. You can't change any of the colors here. If someone had that question, can I change any of these numbers that are in here? Unfortunately, what we get is what we got. You can put up to, now we've done 3. You can put up to 4. And 4 is going to be the maximum amount that you can put in. So here, if we just put ahead and put in Temecula here. So now Temecula's here. That is the maximum amount of comparables that you can have is 4. All right, everybody follow me there. So now we're able to see that the Temecula data alongside our community, our golden triangle, and our Murrieta data. Once you've reached that threshold of 4 cities or places that you're viewing, you notice that that breakout tab that we used to see there is gone. To get that breakout tab back, you can only have up to 3 communities that you're comparing. All right, so there you go. A little bit more about this this platform. So say for instance, you need more, you want to see this closer up as you're working, this little arrow right here, if you just slide that arrow up, it just takes away all those tabs at the top so they're out of your way. And you're able to just function a little bit more cleaner here on your screen. Putting the arrow right here down actually brings you right back into all the tabs that were at the top. And then if you had some questions, right? This little guy is kind of cool. The little question mark. He actually tells you what everything is. So as you look here on the screen, you're able to see what it's telling you, the quick facts that are here, the metrics down here at the bottom that we see, as well as up top, the different areas, the variables, the breakout tabs, how they work, the customizable portion that you can do over here, graphics, sharing, data, multi-filter, all of that. And you just hit that little question mark that is right there. All right, boom. And then of course, this guy right here, if you see this here, this actually takes away your breakout tabs as well and separates them. If you just click this little tab right here. Okay. So that right there is for the most part, everything that we're seeing here. Market view here, if you want to come in and look at specific markets and how other agents are doing, you can come in here and say, how do I compare against other agents? Again, I just submit there at the top tabs up here. So go to market view here. And I want to compare myself with, I don't know, the Team Force or Val Ives or, you know, the Felipe Bernie. I don't know who you want to compare yourself to. All right. And their sales. And you can come look at sales volume and how agents are doing and where you stack up if that's something that you're interested in doing as well. There's also the user manual for frequently asked questions. What do you know? There's a training here as well. So know where that tab is as well. And then the last tab is the fast tab, fast stats tab. And you can look at specific communities in here and get data as well. That right there is an overview of how Infosparks works and operates. I highly encourage you. Something that I do monthly is I come in here and I look at data. So again, we made a video, as we mentioned earlier in our training. So we came in here and we wanted to know what's happening in our local community. So we came in here and we put in Marietta, right? And I want to see what are homes selling for on average right now. So we came in here and we looked at average sales prices here. There you go. Average. We did, we just left it where it was. We did the bar graph there. And so this is what we did. And this is how you can just sound so professional. Came in here and I was able to tell, no, that's what I did. Hang on a second. I want to go into, this is great, guys. Actually, I'm gonna show you something else here. Let me back up out of that city real quick because there's a lot going on in our market. So we're gonna do this for you guys as we finish up today. We're going to go to you can do this, San Diego County. So we're going to put in San Diego County. We're going to put in Riverside County. We're going to put in, takes a second sometimes for it to load up, Orange County. You got to see the county there. Hopefully you guys are seeing me and I'm not moving too fast for you. And then we're going to do, why not? We'll just do LA. Los Angeles County. Boom. Okay. So when we look at home prices and where it is affordable to buy a home, okay, where is it affordable? If you call $500,000 affordable, right? I think it is. Here in Southern California, you can compare counties as well, not just cities. And so you're able to speak very intelligently to your clients of what's going on. Average sales prices in Riverside County, $584,000 versus that of $1 million, $1.1 million, and $1.1 million in Orange and Riverside counties, respectively. This data, again, all you're doing is you're just putting in that information right here at the top as if you were putting in a city. Okay? And so then that's when you're able to tell your clients that home prices have appreciated 29%, as you see down here where my mouse is, 29% year over year. And look at that data compared to the year before. Homes actually in Riverside County only appreciated 1.4%. We're looking at the entire county from 2019 to 2020. So a huge appreciation in homes. 33% in San Diego, 29% here in Riverside, 33% in Orange, and 31% in Los Angeles County. Again, great data that you're able to provide for your clients. And you can look at any of that data in here that we've looked at. You can look at active listings, pending, closed sales, days on market. You can go in there, look at the days on market and where is that trending. Average days on market, look how it has drastically gone down, respectively, in the county. Homes are actually sitting on the market longer in Riverside County than in any of our other counties. So our homes are, as fast as our homes are selling, we're actually able to see that homes are actually moving slower than those of the outside communities, as it has been the trend that you're able to see. So it's nothing outside of the norm. However, they are closer in comparison than they have been in recent years. Okay? So all that data you're able to see in here in Infosparks. Is there anything that I haven't covered? Any questions that we have so far? I know I've been doing most of the talking in this training right here, but what are your thoughts on this? Any questions? Excellent, excellent. From the thought of from the silence in our room here, it appears that everything makes sense. I encourage you to come in here monthly. That's what I do every single month at the beginning of the month, and you look at the data and you see what's going on. Go to a couple of different cities that you want to compare. So that way every month you can speak intelligently. When I sit down and have a conversation with a client, we will say, yes, home prices are up, 3%, or rather homes are selling at 3% over asking price right now in Riverside County. I can tell them that because I can go in here to original list price right there. And Riverside County, it's saying 2.6%, right? 3%. Oh, sorry. That's why that number was. I thought that number was a little bit off. I thought I should be closer. So it's actually gone up a little bit. No, it's 4.5%. Okay. Increase, 4.5% increase. I'm sorry. There it is. The 2.2 is what it's saying right there. So that's what homes are selling for. These numbers have adjusted. Last month was when it's adjusted only a little bit since last month, but last month it was 103. Sorry, I was kind of messing up my data that I was sharing with you guys right there. But I'm able to say homes in Riverside County are selling at about 2% above ask price right now. So if you list your home for, let's just give a number. Let's give let's give $500,000. It's an easy number, right? $500,000. So that means if you listed 500,000 on average, you're going to get what? 510, right? That'll be an extra 2%. Everybody follow me on that point right there? And so that's how you can have that conversation with your clients as to what our market is doing, what they can expect if they were to list their home, or if they're looking to purchase a home, how much do they need to put in an offer? Well, can I go in at asking price? Well, because homes are selling on average at 2% above the original list price, if it's 500,000, we probably want to do like 515 if we really want the home, because anything less than that, we're just at the bottom of the barrel and there's really not a chance for you to get your offer accepted, most likely. Okay. That's what I got for you guys today. The time is 11:54. I don't have anything else here in Infosparks. This is a great tool. I encourage you to utilize it every single month. Come in here, take a peek at what it can do for you. Again, the best way to learn anything is to actually come in there and play with it a little bit. So like I've done here, I encourage you to open up the Infosparks platform, play around with that information, take some opportunities, share that on social media. Don't be afraid to share on social media or any of your platforms, your data. You can always go back and change anything that you put on there. You can delete a post if you don't like it. All of those are options for you. So make sure that you do that. Felipe, Amber, Melissa, anything that I've missed this morning that we need to share for our agents?
Do we have anything to share? Let's see. Great information, Infosparks. I use it all the time. I actually share the information on our sales trainings. Rose, I know you just talked about this, but where to share this stuff. So you did cover how to take snapshots or how to print out the reports or how to share the slides. So social media obviously is a huge way to get the word out there. Just a quick snapshot of what's happening in your market. Little insight though, our marketing team does an amazing job and they provide you guys with those market stats. You've seen the slides. It's funny because agents out there I've seen they're copying our marketing. It's crazy. So they're literally copying our marketing and just not even, oh my gosh, it's crazy. But they've done an amazing job. They get the information from Infosparks. They create a market update post for every single agent here. And you guys can take those and share those on social media. I think it's nice to kind of space them out. Don't just put them all together on one page. So you have more content. But yeah, great class, David. I mean, it's all good information, great insight.
Thank you so much. Stay in here, stay abreast of what's happening in our market so you can speak intelligently to your clients. Now you know, knowing is half the battle, as G.I. Joe told me. And as Felipe say, practice your trade or
Trade your practice.
trade your practice, guys. Have a good one.
Take care, everybody.